Forward without Dak Prescott after the QB suffered a season-ending ankle injury during their win over the Giants on Sunday. With Dak playing this season on the franchise tag, there have already been whispers that we may have just seen Prescott's last game in Dallas at all. One anonymous exec even told The Athletic that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys could be tempted to move forward with a discounted Andy Dalton next season. So, Shannon, how much was Jerry and the Dak contract situation at fault for what happened to Prescott?
Well, I don't blame Jerry at all. Football is a very dangerous game, Skip. That's why I don't believe that players should give teams discount for this very reason. Because discounted, you don't give them discounted play, so they shouldn't give you discounted pay. But for me, I don't blame Jerry, Skip. They were in negotiations, and Dak said, I want A. Jerry says, I'm willing to give you B, and they couldn't come to a compromise that was both as far as length and terms of money, Skip. So for me, if you want to blame anybody, blame the Players Association, because they had CBA. Skip, was the franchise tag a part of the CBA that they could have negotiated? But they signed their name on that. So, hey, it is what it is. You knew this, that the franchise tag, I don't see how you have free agency if a team can, says, okay, we're going to franchise you and you can't go test the open market. That's not free agency. Free agency means what it means in baseball, what it means in football and basketball, is that I'm free. I can go shop my talent, whatever the marketplace will bear, Skip. I mean, you don't get to say, you're this, and so you're a quarterback, so you can only make X. Mike Trout can make whatever. So can a pitcher. So can a basketball player. So for me, Skip, I don't blame Jerry at all. Jerry tried to was trying to negotiate a deal. And Jerry says, okay, this is what I'm willing to do in a business, Skip. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I think player X is worth. Player X says, no, Jerry, I've done this and this and this. I think I'm worth that. But it just goes to show you, Skip, that just like that, careers can change, a life can change. And so I believe that's why players should always whenever they can get an opportunity to get money, they should get it. Skip, I don't blame Jerry. Jerry is a businessman, and in business, you try to negotiate the best deal for you. And what he was trying to do, he said, Dak, this is what I'm willing to do. Now, we can go back and forth, but we think somewhere between $33 and $36 million. Dak says, I want somewhere at the upper ends of 30, maybe creeping into the 40, knowing that I'm not going to get Patrick Mahomes, which is $45 million, but I want to creep up there because I believe that's where the market is heading. And he was right. That's where the market is heading, Skip, because Deshaun Watson came in after Mahomes and got $39 million. So Dak was right. Dak and his representative were right. They were heading in that direction. But, Skip, I don't blame Jerry because this was a freak accident. I don't believe Jerry was like, oh, man. But now he gets Dak at the price, maybe even lower than he was originally willing to pay.
Although you did suggest yesterday, I believe, that Jerry won, quote unquote, right?
Yes, because anytime, Skip, the thing is like, there's no risk for Jerry. Jerry says, okay, the tag is 31 million? The tag is 31 million. Every time Dak goes out there on the field, say he throws the ball 40 times. Skip, he has to dodge a landmine 40 times. Jerry said, Jerry ain't got to do nothing. Jerry's like, I'm paying 31.4 or 31.7 million. Dak Prescott has got to, you see what happened? Skip, think about how many times somebody got tackled on Sunday. That's what Dak has to go up against every time for 16 games, basically 800 times in a season. Or however many times he drops back to pass, how many times he runs the football. And even if he doesn't get sacked, Skip, he gets knocked down. You run the risk. So that's what I'm saying, Skip. The risk will always against Dak. Jerry had no risk in this situation.
Well, not exactly true, because if he did give him a 4 or 5 year deal, and all of a sudden Dak gets hurt to the point that he's never quite the same, then Jerry lost, right?
Well, see, then Jerry has an insurance policy that the insurance policy picks up that. Jerry's not hurt at all. That's what they do. You see what they did? They took out an insurance policy on Patrick Mahomes for almost $1 billion. So if Patrick Mahomes does it, no, Lloyd's of London, or AEG pays that, not Jerry.
No, but but wait, if you gave him $80 million guaranteed at signing, you lost $80 million, right?
Yes.
And it's going to maybe cripple you against the cap going forward.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's why Jerry wanted the 5 years so he could spread it out. So that way the last couple of years, Skip, he can, said, okay, this is what it is. But hopefully it's 4 to 6 months. He can come back.
Hopefully.
6 months.
So it's hard for me to believe anybody, quote unquote, won in this situation. because we all lost, because we lost this young man who was the face of the franchise, the leader, the heart, the soul. We get all that. I try to be objective when it comes to Dak Prescott because I have loved him from the start. As you recall, first exhibition, preseason game that I saw him out here at the Coliseum in 2016, just before we started Undisputed that September. And my love of Dak got so much that if you recall in 2017, before the year started, it was early that football season. Remember, we shot a commercial about Dak where I was telling you, as we were waiting for the quote-unquote valet to come get our cars for us, I was telling you, he had the greatest rookie year of any quarterback who's ever played in this league, and he's now on a Hall of Fame arc. And the commercial never ran because Zeke got suspended, you recall, and then they just kind of caved in at that point, right? So we never even ran the commercial. But that's how much I believed in Dak from the start. In the end, my love for my team, and I always try to disqualify myself on the show because I have lifelong love for the Dallas Cowboys. My uncle Jim Bell took me to a Cowboy game at the old Cotton Bowl where Jenny was to watch Texas, Oklahoma on Saturday. Cowboys started playing at the Cotton Bowl. And I saw them play what were then the St. Louis Cardinals. And they lost the game, but they won my heart.
Was Jim Hart there then?
Huh?
Was Jim Hart the quarterback?
No, he wasn't there yet. It was Charlie Johnson. This is way before your time. The quarterback for the Cowboys was Eddie LeBaron, who is 5 feet 7 inches tall. I actually fell in love with Eddie, but more in love with the stars on the shoulders of their jerseys. I thought those were the coolest uniforms ever. So usually my love for my team supersedes my love for the current quarterback. So all I want now is for this situation to turn out the best for all involved. And in the end, the bottom line is what you're always talking about is, did you win or did you lose? Did you go to Shannon's restaurant with an L or did you dub it? Okay, so in the end, I care mostly about can my team survive and then thrive through the situation. I still believe Dak is on the Kirk Cousins train right now, where I think he's going to be okay. Maybe I'm knocking on wood, maybe I'm wishfully thinking, but I believe from all I've read about this injury, it's fixable. And I believe
Michael Vick had the injury.
Okay, I got it.
He came back.
He came back. It didn't seem like it was a compound fracture.
No, He didn't compound, didn't dislocate it.
Okay, but by all accounts, he should be okay with this. He wasn't a quote-unquote running quarterback to start with. He ran some, and he ran effectively. I used to pound the table over here, wanting him to run a little bit more. But when it comes to this injury, I still can't wrap my head around it because I get Michael Vick's because Adalys Thomas